So, how about them Vikes, eh? Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen. Holy smokes. That was one hell of a statement win. That was one hell of a statement game. And oh, by the way, we may have, hopefully, for the love of everything holy, found our quarterback. Just please stay healthy. That's about the only thing I can see really derailing this thing. But wow. So yeah, let's go ahead and kind of break this down a little bit. Yeah, I decided to kind of wait a little bit, kind of let the emotions wind down and stuff like that. I know I love to do these raw, juicy rants as much as the next guy, but it's also kind of nice every once in a while to just kind of soak it in and enjoy a victory, because as we know, these last few weeks have been, let's just say, painful, annoying, very, very questioning. That's even a word. Anyway, regardless, last few weeks have been painful. When you have the corpse of Carson Wentz being trotted out there and looking like me after like 10 beers trying to throw a football, that. And again, though, thank you, Carson, for your contributions, but J.J. McCarthy is looking like that dude. And again, for the love of everything holy, stay healthy. By the way, did I also mention to stay healthy? Please. Because, again, as I just stated, that's the thing that will really take the ship down, is if J.J. McCarthy cannot stay healthy. I mean, I just watched Sunday Night Football where Jaden Daniels might already be kind of having those issues. Whew, again, thoughts and prayers up to him, because that looked like a nasty shoulder injury. But anyway, we'll kind of, dissect that when we actually get to Washington week here. But back to JJ. I mean, he had to put on his big boy cape, and boy did he look ready for it. In Detroit, nonetheless, standing there, basically getting harassed every third or fourth play by Aiden Hutchinson, which, is Detroit a little dirty? Find out at 11. Now, there were a couple of questionable hits there. Granted, the Clay Helton crew for the NFL has always been a little... Yeah, they're not my favorite crew, we'll just put it that way. But, with all that being said, though, our offense was humming. I mean, Addison had a big day. Jefferson finally got back into the end zone for the first time since Chicago. Week 1. We're going on to week 10 now. And that was only his second touchdown of the year. By the way, Jordan Addison had a hell of a game. Hope Aaron Jones is healthy, because he was really the cog that moved the offense there during the middle stretches of it until he got hurt. Jordan Mason looked all right. I mean, he did enough at the end to, keep us moving, but again, Jordan Mason has never really been that speedy sort of option out of the backfield. He's more of your north and south. Almost like a Leroy Horde, where if you need 3, he'll get you 4. If you need 5, he'll get you 4. Type of thing, so. But yeah, offense looked really, really good. And defense, holy smokes. Our much maligned defense actually stepped up, stood out, and did the damn thing. I mean, Goff was never comfortable. Their running game got held to, what was it, like 60 or 70 yards total? Like, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he had like 50 or I think he had like 60 yards total. And I should know I have him on one of my fantasy teams. By the way, Minnesota, you're welcome. But yeah, I mean, it was smothering. It was suffocating. It looked like the Flores Hellfire defense from last year. The prime of the defense. Like, I mean, I think what happened is I think Flores actually kind of went back to basics a little bit. Like, I don't think he really ever did anything too nutso-whatso, crazy. But it was effective. And again, this is also the same Flores defense that Jared Goff carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey 3 times last year, really. So, yeah, granted, when we host them come Christmas time, I don't know if that, be interesting to see what happens there, but yeah, we finally flustered Goff, and that is the key for everybody out there who's a, Detroit Lions fans, not Detroit Lions fans, anyone going up against Detroit. If you pressure Goff up the middle like that, that's what happens. You collapse that pocket in under 3 seconds, it could be goodnight Irene. But yeah, I mean, it was just a gutsy overall performance. However, though, I am going to quickly address the elephant in the room. Special teams penalties. How many Myles Price almost, touchdowns are we going to get called back due to dumb special teams penalties? Myles Price housed one yesterday, but Tavierre Thomas, who did not have a good day, really, holding, basically took away what would have been 70 yards. If I remember, I think the Vikings either had to settle for a field goal or punted it away. And that was a crucial stretch in the game because that could have been the kill shot even earlier on. But no. Yeah, special teams are definitely going to be something that needs to be addressed going into this offseason. But I digress. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, though, this was that type of win that can jumpstart what otherwise would have been a dying season. Because believe it or not, the NFC this year, I mean the NFL in general this year is a lot more open than I think a lot of people understand. Like, there is really no dominant team. I mean, we took down the Lions. The Panthers took down the Packers. And that is why I can never trust the Packers to do much of anything when it comes to the postseason. Because they go out there and have dominating wins against the Steelers team who takes down the Colts, yet their 2 losses are at Cleveland and at home versus Carolina. Which, granted, to be fair, though, Carolina actually heads up is now 5-4 on the season. So they're now above 500. Yes. The NFL this season makes a whole lot of sense, don't it? Outside of the Jets and Saints being ass, but we all knew that was going to happen. Anyway, before I piss off everybody in the internet, I think I'll go ahead and kind of wrap this bad boy up. Again, statement victory. Motivation victory. Now let's see what happens next week against a Baltimore Ravens team that is now on fire, winning 2 games last week to get themselves back, at least for now, into the AFC playoff picture. And then the following week will be the week that I will be at the game. My dad, my uncle, and I will be at the Bears-Vikings game at U.S. Bank Stadium. And oh, by the way, the Bears just got off of a shootout with the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Flacco, where if the Bengals even had a sliver iota of a defense, they would have won. But now Colson Loveland decided to bounce off of 3 defensive backs who tried to, hit him like a pinball. And he just waltzed right into the end zone. When will these players learn, like, especially the DBs, like, because Isaiah Rodgers had like 3 or 4 of those himself. You've got to wrap up to tackle. You can't just hit him. You know, you at least got to hold him back till you can get some assistance there on the tackle. Like, you can't just pinball off of him and expect him to go down. Especially when you're talking someone who's like 6'5", 6'6", 275 and can run a 4.3. You're like, that's just not going to happen. But anyway, the month of November will tell a lot about the future of this Vikings team. And I'll tell you what, regardless of what happens, if J.J. McCarthy stays healthy and keeps progressing, we may have just found our guys. So, alrighty, well, that'll pretty much do it. So until we meet again, this is Jacob. Have a good one.